Alrighty, today's project, we are working on a Caterpillar uh, ditch witch trencher attachment, T9B trencher. We're replacing the teeth. So you can kind of see that's a new one. That's an old one. Pardon my mess in the background. Let's see here. A little bit of wear on the old teeth. We don't use a trencher a lot. This attachment is going on its sixth year, and that's the first set of teeth we put on it. So, and they got different variations of teeth. These are carbide. That's what these are. All this on here is carbide. So, I thought I'd do a little video. Kind of a how-to. I've put a few of them on. I did find it necessary. The way my memory is, I set something down, I'll forget it. Turn around to go back and grab it. I won't even know where I set it down, and sometimes I'll forget what I set down. But I had took that tooth off and that one off and was preparing to take that one off when I realized, hey, you've got inners and outers. So maybe it don't matter, but I'm going ahead and just, as I take a tooth off, I go get another one, the matching one to that, and put that on there. That way it's back the way it was from the factory. So one thing, I guess you could power wash this thing if you had a mind to. I've got a power washer sitting here, but for all the work of getting it going, I just got a little scraper tool here. Just get the dirt off the end of the nut there, so your socket will go on there and clean out around the inside there, so you can get a wrench. You do want to make sure that the space here between the bit and the chain is clean. But as you can see, this is one that focus. This is one I just took off. You pretty much just slap them back on there and be fine, as long as you don't smear any mud over it before you get the tooth on there. So, but I got mixed feelings about these trenchers. Even hooked to this 275 that I've got, you get a rock the size of a softball or a football, it's gonna jam it up, stall it out, and you got to run the trencher forward, backward a few times. It is pretty strong. I've pulled boulders out of the ground with this thing the size of 5-gallon buckets. But the problem is, when you're in ground like that, these teeth were probably wore off. Maybe just the tip was wore off. And then last year I did 2 jobs, electric and water line, and wore them teeth off down to nothing. I mean, like you see there. And so I'm thinking, you know, if you're in soil like that, they do have rock teeth for these trenchers, but you've got to buy, they're not set up like this. So these, you wear them out, you pull these 2 bolts out, put a new one on, you're back in business. The rock teeth, you have to buy a holder that bolts onto this chain, and then your rock tooth, the bit actually goes inside that holder. So to set this trencher up with rock teeth is like $2,200. So I don't know. It's kind of arguable in my mind whether that's worth it. Time you do all that, I can trench it with that Mini X, you know, just as fast or faster if you figure, you know, the amount of time it takes you to change these teeth out, because you still want these teeth on here even with the rock teeth on, because the rock teeth don't clean your trench out as good as these do. So if you're in good clean soil and you're going a long distance, trencher's a good tool. But if you're in rocky ground or if it's a short distance, the trencher's just not worth it. The Mini X, you pretty much eliminate a shovel with that. And you know, that bucket there's got over 3,000 hours on it. Of course, it's got different, those aren't the original teeth by no means, but $100 for teeth for that versus all these teeth is $364 with bolts. And you do need to put new bolts and nuts on this every time you put teeth on there, because you know, you got to think about that bolt and nut is going through the ground as well. Let's see if the camera will, you can see how it's kind of, the threads are kind of starting to strip out. So in the head of the bolts kind of they're not perfect anymore. I'm having a little issue getting the socket on there. But one thing I did notice, these are, and this is what Cat give me. That's all you can see. It says Cat right on the bolts. These are 18 millimeter, the bolt and the nut, whereas these here, bolt and nut, those are the original, they're 19 millimeter. But whatever, I mean, that's the same diameter bolt, they're just a little shorter, I think, and different size. These are crushed nuts, if I'm saying that right. Probably not. I don't know. Let me see if I can get a nut out of the bag here. All right, see how that's not a perfect circle? Right there, it's kind of crushed in. So the term on crushed nuts, that's probably not the proper, there's probably a different term for that, but name. But it's just like a lock nut. Actually, nylock. Just like a nylock, except for instead of nylon, they've crush that in a little bit so that it bites down on the bolt. And I mean, that ain't coming back off. You really got to hold on to the wrench when you're tightening that up with the impact. So you don't need any Loctite or nothing. Just run that in tight with your impact, and you're good to go. So anyhow, maybe some of y'all will find this useful.